Okay. Let it play. It's Matthew's Suite. Okay, that's something I probably will, I'm infringing on some copyright somewhere. That's divine intervention. I swear to God, I would love to have that playing. I mean, I won't, but I want to. Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake, chats, 2017. I'm letting it roll, baby. This is the final will and testament. So yesterday, last night, it was like, I don't know, like 4 o'clock when I passed out. Holy crap. I mean, the visions were so thick, and then I just went, oh. And the last thing I thought was, I need to be recording this. And I went away. And I woke up around 1. It's like, okay, I'm up. That's it. We're doing this thing. Because last night, whoa, I hit a wave, and I was really afraid because, dang it, if that happens to me, I'm going to go away for sure. Because it was so intense. I mean, I didn't puke and I didn't pass out, but wow, that's the same feeling. I don't want to go away. So that's where I was last night. I say last night. And right before I went to bed, I saw this Facebook post, and it really kind of did it. It didn't do a number on me, but it was something I thought about. It was really long, and it correlated all of these things that were really, really intense and very, well, you don't get there unless you do some desk time, let's just say that. And it went on and on about how everything was keyed for this person for the 888, 888, 888 everywhere. Well, bravo. Good. You're a good detective. And he went on to say that he was Jesus Christ and he was going to marry his Mary on the eclipse, and it went on and on from there. And I guess that kind of tickled that part of me that, hey, you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere. But you better keep balance. You better keep that center of gravity, because otherwise you're going to tip over, baby. Who knows? That center of gravity had to have been from the teachers from the very beginning, because I had none. If you look at my natal chart, it's like, well, okay, there's a kite in there, or whatever you call that. But for the most part, it's teeter-totter city. Is it light or is it dark? Light or dark? I love you. You don't love me back. I love you. You really don't like me. I love you. Wow, another one? You don't want to hold my hand either? And on it went for a lifetime. For a lifetime. And this morning I understand, well, that's the purpose of it, was that every time I got hurt, and believe me, those felt like crucifixion, some of them. They did. Because his heart can love so purely and so innocently and so fully. To not have that returned is really hard. It's really hard. Or to have it felt and then to have it filtered through behavior that doesn't make any sense to me at all. And I can feel the love. And this beautiful heart of mine, it matches with another, and there's this cathedral that we make, this I don't know, this clearing in a forest, and it's like so holy and so fun and so important to act right in and to honor as we're going along, and how delicious everything is. But then something always happens. Well, maybe it's supposed to. Maybe the whole point was I wasn't supposed to generate that with humans. I couldn't. I tried. I really, really, really tried. And nobody wanted to. And then when they did want to, I would come in and just find fault. and get scared and turn into the part of me that thought maybe she was safe enough to be honest and to reveal the monsters and to say the things that are on her mind. And it didn't work out so good either. So, I woke up doing the same thing that I've done for a lifetime. The first automatic thing is to walk through just the disappointments. Who's not with me? Who? And this morning it was more intense than usual because I've lost pretty much a lot with the body not working and with this person I love so much that we don't talk, and just relationships that aren't right, in a heart that's not right, and memories that are so bad. Just, I don't want them. I've used them well. So for about an hour I was kind of sad, and I realized, oh, this is what I'm able to discharge. And then I remembered what I saw last night. I saw this person, this Kathy, who had been quite afflicted and sad and disconnected. And I had seen that person in a shroud in the middle of a circle, and it was okay. I was glad. It was just the way it is. You don't look at a dead body and go, oh, I'm glad. But you can look at a dead body and be at peace and curious. And I wondered what's going to happen. Through a series of understandings last night, I saw. I can't remember the trigger, but what I do remember is that little girl who never was taught that this blazing thing inside of her chest that makes her love God and see God in everybody. She gets to come with the divine blueprint. She's going to be with me without having been harmed. It just started really early. That's been my concern. How do I do this? Who do I bring along? It started so young. But I saw a 7-year-old, and she was so happy, and she was just amazing. And I realized, oh my God, you get her around people who see her, who encourage her, who put up with her when she's being silly, who don't take it personally when she sees your monster and when she wants to seduce it in all of her innocence. You know how to stand down. And she's surrounded by people who are grown-ups, who understand about the arts, about literature, about language, about writing, about expression. She's free, and she's healthy. And it just made sense. The things I carry now, physically, of that expression, I don't need them then. I don't need them. The physical stuff I carry around that is from the coding, I'm not going to need. And I saw. I don't understand about the mother part. I don't understand about how I'll behave. Probably because I'm already behaving like her. But I understand it's the coding, it's the coding, it's the coding. That child in the circle, in the center, who's finally free and finally safe and is ever innocent, ever curious, ever flowering. That being in the center, that circle of my vision is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end of a life heavily coded, purposeful. And the purpose was to find God. But for me, when I came in, that was the punchline. So that little girl gets to just play with God and fairies and all the things I used to be able to play with, including crystals and the sun and the clouds and visitors. I had a lot of visitors before things went bad. So it's pretty neat, and because of all this, I've kind of reached some peace. And I think even though it's quite emotional, I'm going to post it because you know what? This is the ending of something. And I saw that post of the 888s and all that coded stuff, and where he went with that, and how grandiose it seemed to me. I thought, oh holy shit, oh holy shit, oh holy shit, people are going to talk to me or see me and they're going to think that I'm crazy like that. They're going to think I'm unbalanced. They're going to think that I'm just nuts because I'm saying these things that just seem to make sense. I mean, you just have to look at it and go, oh, well, that makes sense. But it's so outrageous. And then I got all still. I thought, well, if it weren't for seeing the iron of God in my living room, had it not been for, oh, I don't know, that thing in the car, the casino thing, the Christmas Eve thing, doing whatever it was done with Sam when he said, stop looking into my soul, all that stuff. All of it. All of it. There's too much synchronicity. And it was lived. It was felt. It was documented. It was reviewed. And with balance, with intelligence, with a lifetime that speaks of balance in the middle of hurricanes. Here I am, heavily keyed. This eclipse is so keyed, and I didn't think it would be. I mean, last one was, okay, come on. Pisces and Virgo, and for me, I was like, okay, well, this is mine. Ooh. And the only thing I've got eclipsing is my, thankfully, I've got, I think, Uranus in my old chart, and my North Node in my new chart being eclipsed. But, it doesn't matter. This one is keyed in a different way. This is not keyed to my natal chart. It may be keyed to yours. I'm not saying it isn't. For me, I ran the numbers. There was an ascension in 56, and my team says there was an ascension in 94, and Cryon does back that number up. So I ran those numbers. It's 38 years. And from there to this date is 23 years. And put that together, and it's 61 years. And for me, those numbers are very, very important and symbolic. And then I ran other numbers, and 38 came up again and again and again and again. And then I went to the 1979 eclipse that I witnessed, which was 3 days after my birthday, and I don't know, that was freaking keyed too. It was a keyed event. And 38 came up again. 38, 38, 38. What does that spell? So I see that this is keyed for me in a different way. This is an ascension key, not a hey, your time is up key. Last eclipse was actually probably when it's weird. I went through this purple monolith phase. You can read about it. It was freaky deaky. It was like this thing in my reality. I would wake up in the morning. It was just like, would you please get away from me? It was like this huge purple monolith that was just right in the middle of my field of vision. It was going, whoa! It was just vibrating, and it wasn't a good feeling. It was bad. Bad. It was like, you want everything to change? Here. But it wasn't languaged. It was just, and there was a day that was out of time. It was February 29th, and everywhere I could feel people deciding. And then March 1. Kathy, can I see you before the meeting? And by 10 o'clock, I was no longer a nurse. Not in that way ever again. I had tried to fill roles that I had done very, very well in the past, but I wasn't that person. I didn't have the same interests. I didn't have the same abilities. I just didn't. And I burned it up last time. And I began to realize, that even, from 12 forward, my practice was so different, and I've talked about it. It was just different. I was different. I was different. And I see the sadnesses and the disappointments and the things that are just plain old normal. People are allowed to say, no, I don't think so. I don't think I want to be your BF. I don't think I really want to do that. They're allowed. What the fuck? Everyone's allowed to live their lives, especially if they actually have a life. You know what I mean? If they're not jumping ship. Or if they're deciding to jump ship and they take a look at me and go, oh yeah, well, I like my ship. Yeah. That happened a lot. Permission to come aboard? Well, hell yeah, I've been waiting for company. Yeah, and there's a great party, and then pretty soon it's, well, it's been nice. They're gone. And there's been boat imagery and stuff. Well, I've known that some of this I've been keeping alive, and I understand now that I kept it alive for precisely 5 years because it needed to be discussed. It needed to be felt. It needed to be released. It needed to be forgiven. It needed to be reconciled. It needed to be integrated. It needed to be thanked, understood, blessed, and released. and it's done. So with these understandings, I'll be going into the eclipse. To be quite frank, I would really just kind of like to stay home and trot out to my little patch of grass right underneath my apartment and let it happen, let it roll. And yet Leadville keeps calling me. It feels impossible to get there. I don't know why. I don't know why. It feels like a really nice idea. Because I can see no reason, no barrier. To go there for the eclipse, for me. I told my friend, Elizabeth, about what was going on. She's into astrology, and I told her a little bit about my life. She and I are friends, but she knew I was a channeler, but she didn't understand who I was. So I told her about some of my experiences. The 25th of May, and then the Antares thing, and my chart, and my activation, and my affinity for Leadville, and my suspicion that that's where the most energy will be, and it's the most appropriate place for me to be, it's the most highly keyed place for me to be, and that if I go there, I had been given they had said that would be a very easy place for me to spin. And she said, "Can I come with?" And my son's coming with. I'm really glad that we couldn't do it with just him. We have to have third. And so all I see it is from the ground. It's like, okay, well, I got to think about who's going to drive home and what the fuck's going to happen, and and I'm told, well, here's the deal. You need to drink some water. You need to just get clear. You can, and I sort of just told him, and I haven't drank water, but I'd have drank coffee. I will drink water. At this point, honey, if my ascension is dependent on my fluid intake, you can fuck it. If it's that fragile. It's not that fragile. This is a lifetime. This is my lifetime. I came here to ascend. That was my job. That was the only reason I showed up. That's it. And I have been saying those words since the 90s. There's no one in my clan who doesn't know. The ones who need to know, know. Those who don't need to know, well, they just walk along. And there's some who need to know, who have the information, who really don't like me as a result of the information. Yeah, and they're real close to me. Yeah. I'm done. I don't need any more engines like that. I'm not going to be standing in opposition to people anymore. I get to let this light shine. And there will be no Pluto retrograde opposing this kind of light anymore. The Pluto retrograde was square Uranus at my birth, obviously. Was it yours? You might want to check. I'll let you read up on it. It ended August 4th. I'm free. That's why I came in. It's why I came in. I'm part of this retrograde, these waves, these bands. And what we came here to do, we have done. We've done it. We live through it. It doesn't matter what shape we're in at the finishing line. It doesn't matter. And the weird thing about this finish line, it doesn't matter where you are in the race. It comes to you. It comes to you. So you can be sitting there in your lazy boy, drinking a beer. It doesn't care. It's coming to you. The finish line is almost here. It's not my life that I'm talking about. It's really, in essence, humanity's old expression. Want to know why? Because I'm one of the four. I represent Antares. I represent one of the four. An architect or a whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. A watcher, a speaker. Individuated through time. Impossible to do it any other way. And we get to stand and dance and play today. Say hello, hello, hello. And I get to see, that's it. I was walking through the, I don't know, the Morticia garden of my world. Yeah, these black roses are looking pretty good. All the thorns are dripping blood, but it's just, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he doesn't love me. He doesn't love me. I can't stand her. She can go to hell. Fuck him. I mean, it just goes on and on. Oh, hell. Yeah, I can't work. Yeah. I'm not real popular on the web. Yeah, I got a following, but... yeah. How many buckets are around here? Catching leaks. Will I be able to really comfortably afford that high hamburger meal after the eclipse? Fuck, this whole thing is fucked. This whole thing is fucked. Well, yeah, it kind of is. Is your life fucked too? I mean, honestly, come on. Come on. Come on. Be honest with me. Is your life fucked? Is it somehow winding down weirdly? Oh, but you don't get a second chance. I see. Okay. All right. This is just an eclipse. Yeah. Okay. All right. Enjoy that. Because here's why. Sit there in your recliner and drink your beer. I don't care. That's fine. See me at a party or a grocery store or whatever. Take one look and run. Go right ahead. I don't care. Want to know why? Want to know why I know you're okay and covered and everything's cool? Here's why. Last eclipse, I wrote it. I was this beautiful woman in a flowy, poofy gown with ribbons, and I was on this rocket comet thing, and I was going foo into the eclipse, and I had all these gifts in my arms, and they were all of the awarenesses of consciousness of man and woman. Ooh, how much we'd learn, and how much we love ourselves, and how much we really dig this whole thing, and how much we understand that this is all about something other than, does he love me, does he not love me? We know. And we are so in love with you, Mama. So we want to show you how much we figured out. And what can Mama do but go, oh my God, you guys. I mean, they were crying when I was given this. They were just so moved by us. By us. That we were so clever and sweet. Yes, us, even though we fuck each other over. Yeah. Like, oh, you guys are awesome. May we give you gifts, please? That was last eclipse. That was for humanity. My own was for my beautiful heart, my galactic sun that streams out of my chest and requires people to fall in love with me. Right there. Well, it eclipsed my moon, my ascendant. On my ascendant, yeah. Pluto retrogrades right there, hanging out. Woo! And I think it reversed it. I don't know, but there was like this big thing that went boop, you're done. And I told people, hey, if you want, I'll bring your presents. I'll do it. No one reached out personally, but I did it anyway. I don't care. This one? This one's different. I'm walking in consciously aware that, there have been other times when there is no other outcome. It just doesn't make any sense for anything else to happen. And then it doesn't happen. It's like, what? I just had an experience and then documented it. It's just like, well, I don't understand this at all. And I drove off the mountain realizing, oh yeah, that was exactly the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, the gifts are bigger than I thought, and that would have changed the course too much. It's not time. And the part of me that's going, God damn it, was somehow quiet. She stood down. She wasn't doubled over in pain and agony and disappointment and resentment and really being angry with everything, God, herself, and everything. Circumstance. That kind of was like, didn't even exist. It was like, oh, well, that makes sense. I guess I'll just move on now. And why was I given that experience? Why are we being told what you're going to bring back consciously may not be what you get energetically? Well, for me, it's their way of mitigating, because I have a thing about disappointment, and I don't want to go into the. I do not want to go into this eclipse with that particular human construct, basically manacling shut my heart. Oh, I don't want to be disappointed. I better not expect very much. Well, honestly, I just expect a really cool and cherished natural event is going to occur that I'm going to have a memory of, that I might actually review on my deathbed because it was so pretty. I mean, really, this is these kind of events that I know are totally cool to walk into, because what's the worst thing that's going to happen? All right, what's the worst thing? I get to see this amazing thing I haven't seen in how many years? That would be 38. Ding, 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 ding. That's the worst thing. Alright, I might be inconvenienced because I won't be next to my bed and my refrigerator. Alright, fine. Maybe I won't be able to have strawberries, and maybe I won't be able to afford a burger. Alright. These are minor. Okay? That's the least. But I've been having visions, and I understand that all the shit that went down, and there was a lot of it, given and gotten. I don't know, it just like, burns off. I realized that's all coding. It felt like it just was like this spider web, this would poof. Because I was really afraid. I've been really, really super afraid. I'm walking through my Morticia garden, convinced that, oh, well, this is the end. Yes, I am gonna die. This is the end. How sad. Well, yeah, it kind of is, in a way. But not really. Not really. Am I alive? Hello? Hello, is this thing on? Let me check. I have a pulse. And, you know what? The person I buy my road trip candy bar from doesn't know jack about any of this stuff. And, the ranger that I might meet that's going to give me shit because I haven't gotten a permit doesn't know anything about this stuff. And I'm making these videos because why? A lot of people don't know about this stuff. So, do I have a reason to be here? Yeah, it kind of looks like it. It kind of does. Especially because I got my book idea and it's like I'm writing itself. It's like a freaking series. It's so much fun. Oh my god. Ka-ching too. It's like, wow. Wow. Okay. I could do that. It would be easy. It'd be like rolling off a log. So I get to do that after this, and I'd realize that this freaking project is complete. This old Deeply Awake thing, what was the point? Remember? It was to have one place that was off limit to the assholes, basically. Honestly, I never said it like that, but it's the truth. You can back the fuck off if you wanted to say one bad thing about me growing up spiritually. Yeah, that's kind of how I had to do it. Alright, no wonder I have a lower viewership and readership than not. This is spiked with all that fuck off energy. Well, okay. That's one way of sealing it. That's one way of wrapping it up real good. Uh-huh. Yeah. How better to put it into the masses and not have it seen than have it kind of coated with this stuff that's going to be like, oh, I need to get rid of this. Oh my, oh my. Ooh, she's got that spice. But she's, but she's so sweet. Ooh, and there they go. I realized that a little while ago. Yeah, I'm not pumping out all this sweetness and light because that's not what people are going to need. They're going to need to talk to Kali. They're going to need to see this these two angels fighting in on screen, personified by this woman who, oh my God, I'm gonna put that up. That my first video, the embodiment video, all I can think that whole video, I'm sorry, but from the very beginning, all I can think is, good God, I've got massive tits. Why did I do that? I mean, it flashed them both. It's like, wow. And that's why I'm very careful with my boobies, because it's like I feel like there's this force field that is created, and then pretty soon all I can think of is that. It's like, no, that's not. Wow. And that's it. That's all you can do. It's a glamour that is created. And it's just not possibly treated as a male. La la. It's still easy to think like I'm a male, but nobody can act that way toward me. I think it's so funny. I think it's really funny. So, alright, so I've been doing the Morticia Garden thing, and then I did the step up, like, oh, okay, well, I see that that's all coding, and that's kind of sad and ridiculous and weird. And alright, so yeah, it's part of my Akash, but it's fading, and what comes after? And that's what I'm supposed to be open to. And not guard against, like, yeah, I know. You keep telling me, but I expect you to fuck me over. I'm not doing that anymore. Especially not with God. That's kind of ridiculous, don't you think? But, I mean, don't you know a lot of people like that? And they can be doing this with their hands, they can be doing this with their eyes, but they're doing this. inside. It's like, yeah, sure, yeah, 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 keep talking. It's awful hanging out with those people. So I'm just gonna be more honest about it. That should be fun. Who am I beholden to? No one. I'm walking into this thing free. There's a lot of space. I can do anything. What do I want? Well, I know what I don't want. That's good. It's not worth focusing on anymore. It's just, it becomes a null. It becomes a void. It becomes like something you don't look at. And if I encounter, it's like, yeah, innately, it doesn't taste so good. I think not. And things become easier. What a lively talk. So I finally got to the place that I want to leave you at. Since this has been one big, long, funny, sweary kind of thing. And once I got here, I knew I could come to you. What do I do? What do I do? What's going on? What happened? Ooh, will I get my strawberries? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Is this really Christmas? Or is this just a lie? Is this something that's going to really happen? Or is this just a lie? Is this really me? Did I really do it? Or am I just an obsessive? I have proof. I have documentation. It's all correlated. It stands. It stands. And I am well pleased. It's really beyond comprehension how amazingly imaginative and beautiful this is. I'm just really, I feel much like this toward this work as I do of that little innocent who's white, she's beaming white, pretty dress, and just happy playing in a clover field. I feel the same way about her as I do about this work. It's self-evident what beams from it, what is represented by it, and how valuable it is. It's self-evident. And that is why I will forever be in love with those who love the work and this child. Because you see something. You saw something. Very few have. And if you swim in it, if you can hold your own in these waters, you are among the very few. And if you truly understood as we went along, or are understanding now, I look forward to meeting you in the flesh. And I expect we'll call each other home quite soon. Once I realized that, It's not so much the mechanics of, am I going to be like a Leo mommy or like a, I don't know, the Queen of Wands or Nine of Pentacles or the Empress, or who will I be? How about this? How about the coolest head in the room, and the biggest heart, and the deepest soul? All wrapped in a spicy tamale body with a wicked sense of humor, whose eyes no longer cut through. Just eyes of love now. But balanced. Finally balanced. So it's through the still point. I get there. I see the geometries. It's so one way or the other. It's so either or. It's so black and white. It's so dualistic. Good God, what an engine. And I don't know, I see that just I don't know. What I see resolving is that surrounds it is a green triangle. I'm not sure if the lines between those oppositions break or loosen or fade or just turn into light. I'm not really sure. I think they turn into light. They're taken in. They're blessed. And they're dispersed. They're released. They're integrated. They're laid to rest. And they become less of an influence. And I think that's what they were talking about with the magnetic locks. That was really fascinating. That helped a lot. The magnetics actually break. And when that happens, then, they said it's a prison break. So, the choice is yours. Where do you want to go? And I loved it. First, they talked about a prison break. The magnetics are off, and then those codes came. It's like, how far do you want to go? I didn't put that together until just now. Holy crap. Wow. Alright, I'm going to do a video on that. And then I'll have the channel. My intention is to stay in high channel. Until after it's done. So that's gonna be fun. It is fun. And I hope that you can see through this process that it was really a ratcheting up of energy. You're welcome. For those who can hang with it, I love you. I love you. And for everybody who can't, I love you too. Finally, in the end.